Hello, this is Mr. Leopold from ARVA. I'm going to do a little orientation for you for 8th grade this year. I'm the math and science teacher, and you might have me for homeroom too. So anyways, here we go. It's kind of like a puzzle. We're going to talk about a lot of different things we're doing this year, and it's kind of like a puzzle. We're going to put the pieces together. One important thing you can do is read your email. There's a file called important information. It's a big long file. You can print it off or just save it, but there's a lot of important information there. It talks about what to do, attendance, progress, everything. It does mention PLA test, and we'll talk about that a little later. Online school, or OLS, is where some of your lessons are, and other courses are in the new platform, or the online middle school, which is basically like the high school platform. I still want a good quick name for this thing, but it's as you hear, new platform, or online middle school, whatever. But it's what the nationwide, what K-12 across the country is doing. They're going to this new platform, and it's the first year we're having this in middle school. So it's pretty good, but we're going to have to deal with some of the bugs that are going to come out. Things are going to happen, but we're going to get you through it, okay? So it's going to be all right. Okay, so first the OLS, or online school. When you log on, it'll say welcome, have your name here. This is actually the Learning Coach view. Student view is similar, but you may not have attendance, I think, and certain things you won't have. But anyways, speaking of attendance, every day, one thing you want to do starting today, if you haven't already, write down all your time on a sheet of paper, or actually a notebook or something. 8th graders, students, write down your own time. Maybe I spent an hour in math, things like this, listening to this. That's supplemental activities. Anything you're doing for looking at your books, getting ready, making a schedule, supplemental activities, you just write that down, miscellaneous time. Maybe you spent another hour and a half in language, or half an hour in music, whatever. And at the end of the day, you need to have 6 hours or more. It's in that file I sent, important information, but you want to have over 6 hours if you can, and your learning coach will add that in. Click it here, add attendance. If you look, another thing about this, if you're brand new with ARVA, just don't be afraid to click on things. Home to get you home. Click on plan. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Courses, you can click on courses and get to your course to do a lesson. Messages, look at email. Some of you remember last year, there may be some recordings out there talking about K-mail, but everything's email now. Help tab has some stuff. The quick links is really good. My Info has your student number, or student ID number, and Class Connect sessions here are important. Or these lesson shortcuts. If I want to say, okay, I want to do a language course. Now, if you click on this, it's going to take you to the new platform. So the new platform is for language and math. Math isn't even listed here right now, but you'll have math and language, music, and phys ed. What you're going to have here is science and history and art. And there's also some attendance-only courses like health and phys ed. Welcome to online learning is important. If you have that, or welcome back to online learning, do that right off the bat, the first day or two, and just do all those lessons and mark it done. It's supposed to be finished first, and then it populates. It helps you get your other lessons showing. Okay, so after you click on a course, let's say, like I said, the welcome to online learning. It's just Unit 1, and your whatever lesson is, you just go page through. If you look down here, there's arrows. It's not shown real clear, but you just page through. If you want to close the lesson, there it is. If you look at the tab, there may be lesson resources and so forth. Especially the learning coach might have extra materials down here. The main thing is you're going through self-paced. You go through the lesson. If there's an assessment at the end, you take the assessment. You need to do 80% or better to master it, and then you go on to the next lesson. Some more, back to the OLS, there's a help tab for online help, contact K-12, there's a phone number. If you have technical support, you can call them. Again, you get to My Info. OLS Quick Tours has a lot of information good about attendance and things like that. Although I would start with my important information file. Quick note, I wanted to put this in somewhere, but in science, the learning coach has to mark some of the lessons complete within the learning coach account. In other words, you'll never get it done unless the learning coach logs in under his or her account. If you see this important information file, it says how to do that, but you'll mark the lesson complete after the student does offline lessons, or maybe an experiment or something. Okay, so the plan. Now, You don't have to do this, but it's out there. It's whenever you're ready for it. If you guys want, you go in your plan. You can look at what you want to do is schedule setup before you even try and use it. Schedule setup, and it's going to look like this. It's going to like this top thing. There's 3 different tabs, and I'm showing you plan, the middle one. You'll notice the default setting is once a day, because it doesn't know we have other courses in the new platform. So it just gave us one course. This is wrong, basically. Now, you do want to finish Welcome to Online Learning. Language, you aren't even going to use this at all. Science, you're actually going to have 3 or 4 lessons a week. And by the way, I guess I can mention this now. We're going to send pacing guides to say what to do for the different lessons. But if you want to use this, you can go in and you can highlight it and change the 1 to a 0, or just delete it. If you want to do 2 art lessons or 3 art lessons on Friday, I think you only have to do 1 or 2, I forget, but I wrote that down somewhere. And you can change that to 2 on Friday or 2 on Monday. Maybe you want to leave early on a weekend on Friday, so you want to try and do some things earlier. You can change each week. But at any rate, it's out there. You can change that, and then you'll do save. The other tab up here, you can click days off, and you'll see when some of the Harvard holidays are. You can also add your vacation if you want on there. And then over here, this tab, the show hide courses. This is where, if you're all done, you can go ahead and click this or unclick it, and it won't show it. It won't show up in your schedule. Same with like the language one. You probably want to unclick that one. And same with the music for that matter. Now, so if you want to use your plan, I'm just telling you it's out there. You actually don't. I'm going to talk a little bit about our own idea. I think what we should do this year for 8th grade for our weekly plan. So let's go on to the new platform here. And so this is a really cool thing. When you log in, let's say you get to your math course. I think it should bring you to this new platform. But at any rate, you'll notice there's 3 tabs here. You can click Schedule, and that will show you your Class Connect. You can get to Class Connect by here or back in the OLS. Announcements, you can click those. I think normally what you're going to do is click in the middle one here. And also there's an email over here. You can get to email in different places, so it's good. Just get used to whatever way you like to getting to email. Fine, click on that. But learning coaches and students read email every day. You can also click on this, and it takes you to the OLS. It goes to our Total View School. Well, anyways, this is kind of what mine looks like. Yours should look similar, but you click on classes. So let's say we're doing math here. So yours won't look exactly like mine. This is a screenshot of mine, but you might, let's see. Okay, right here, math 8. So then I'm going to click on math. And I don't have much showing right now, but when you click on it, it's going to look something like this. And the important things you're going to see is class announcements. So you're going to look through here and you see some class announcements. And then the other thing is when you first start, you can get to, okay, there's a quick button here if you want to. If you're going to do like lesson unit number 1, you can click on that real quick for class content. Or you can also click on this tab for class content. But course materials is a good place to start out. When you first get in there, course materials are going to be like there may be a pacing guide and some information about contacting myself, your teacher, and so on and so forth. But most of the time, the average day, when you click on your lesson, whether it's math or anything else, you're going to look at the announcements, you're going to look at events. Now, for math, I'm going to do an event. Whenever I want you to do a lesson, you're going to do the event. Okay, you're going to click on that, and it will take you right to this is cool, it's going to click you right to the Unit 1, the first day, I have it, the first day of school, I have the course introduction, readiness checkpoint. And then maybe a couple days later, I have number properties, lesson number 1. And so you'll see. And then maybe lesson number 2 later. It will be some weeks before we even get into Unit 2. But this is the main way, the easy way that I'm trying to make to do math. Okay, you click on that. It goes right to your math lesson. Take your test. There's due dates on there. And now when I talked about content, you can click on content or get there this way, but there's actually a lot more lessons in that. I'm going to give you a brief history. I don't want to make this too long, but it's important, okay? A couple years ago, we had a new math course in K-12, and we did all the lessons, every single one. Unit 1 had tons of stuff in it. It was really, really difficult. It has all kinds of exponents, scientific notation. We're going to cover that. But I took it down a notch for you guys. Last year and this year, if assuming I'm able to do this, unless we get into trouble. I'm trying to help you guys out here. You don't have to do every lesson, so that's why you won't see every single lesson listed here. But what I list, you need to get on there and go through the lesson and do your test, and we need to learn this well. Well, the problem I had a couple of years ago is that students spent a month on Unit 1, or they're 6 weeks into the school year, and well, my dad said I can't do Unit 1 until I finish, or Unit 2 until I finish Unit 1. And so they're starting to do scientific notation, and we're moving on to the more important things for this year. We're getting you ready for high school algebra, solving equations, and I won't get into what we're doing, but we're getting the rest of you don't need Unit 1 for the rest of the units. So that's why. Now I will say, for the above average students, if you guys are good in math, I've got this, click on content, go in there and do some extra lessons. That will help you. I want to challenge you, okay, if you can do it. But for those of you that are struggling, one thing at a time, let's do what's on our list here. The due dates, do your lesson. So in other words, I'm trying to learn fewer lessons, but know them well. And your grade is going to be based on what you get on your quiz there. Okay. Class announcements over here, like I mentioned. If you look at, it's kind of hard to see, but there's email, there's different. On the lower part of the screen, you click on email this way, create a message, Class Connect, you can go to Class Connect, so forth. And basically, the bottom line to all this is go ahead and just get in there and click stuff, and like I said, yours, you might try tools, grades, progress. Some of this stuff will happen later. It won't make sense early now, but go ahead and click on it and see what happens. You won't hurt anything, Oh, I mentioned discussions. I forgot to mention that. You'll see some discussions in there, and we'll kind of learn about that later. Okay, so student grades report card. So if you notice, grades 6 to 8, and this came from ARVA Management, they call it the Desire to Learn platform courses. Math, language. Now we don't have geography, we have music and phys ed. But this is the new platform, or the online middle school. So your grade, let's see, compiled grade for the course points earned. In other words, you're just, whatever your grades are for all the quizzes and so forth, is worth 75% of your grade. And 25% of your grade, and this is where something is new this year. It's brand new this year. School required assessments. That's the PLA tests, quarterly interims, and those are like in the math or language. There's state required assessments. There's our spring testing. The 25% of your grade, all you have to do is take these. Do your best shot. I mean, you don't get in there and guess your way through it. It doesn't work. So, but as long you'll get 100%. That's my understanding this year. It's a participation. If you do all these assessments we ask you to do is 25% of your grade, hey, you got it. You did your best. It doesn't matter what your score is. You did it. Participation. So that's good news for all of us. So your grade is based on, for this new platform, whatever you get, whatever your grade is on the quizzes and my assignments, whatever I decide to do. If I do a Class Connect grade, it doesn't matter. Whatever I do, I'm going to put it on there, and you'll be able to see your grade in the new platform. Now, the OLS up here, online school, science and history, and I believe we have art, should be the other one. They didn't list it, but your progress, half your grade is based on what you do in the OLS, and they do have a 25% teacher grade, teacher assignments and so forth. I will say, as for science, I don't plan on having a teacher grade right now. That could change, but pretty much all your grade, or 75% of your grade for science, is going to be what you do on your own on your OLS. Now you'll have Miss Green for history. She may do things a little different, So that opportunity is there. If us teachers decide to give you these extra assignments and so forth, then we can do that at any point. But most of your grade is what you do in science in particular, in the OLS. You go through a lesson, you master it, it's done, 80% or better. School, and then once again, same thing I said about earlier, 25% of your grade is you're doing all your tests you're supposed to. Okay. This is kind of new for me. I forgot to add art and music over here. It's just based on your OLS. And now in our case, we do have music in the new platform, but but anyways, it's based on everything your grade is. There's no teacher grade for art or music. That was the main point here. All right. So the key things here for ARVA: write down your time and your attendance every day. Write down your attendance, and attendance has to be done by the learning coach every day. I mean, if you do it like the second day or whatever, but you don't go more than like 2 days. So I have to start calling you up, sending you emails,